It stands only vertically. Even though you disturb many times, when it comes to rest, it points to the geometrical center of the earth only. This is what is called horizontality. And the builder of a wall uses such an instrument called the plumb to see if the wall is constructed vertical or not. And when you immerse the vertical instrument in the water, you will find the origin of the cross with 4 right angles called the 4 set squares. The instruments used by a builder to find out if a corner is right angle or not. So these 3 are considered to be the implements of a builder in the physical and symbolic sense also. And an esoteric student is expected to practice these 3 as virtues. For example, whenever you are transacting with anyone, any human being on this earth, you are expected to place yourself, forgetting your level of dignity or riches or honor. So he says, water teaches us to find our levels. This is one sentence of Pythagoras. And about the verticality, he teaches us uprightness and straightforwardness, simple way of talking, and feeling responsible of behaving according to our promises. This is what is called uprightness or straightforwardness. And as a third thing, you are expected to stand at right angles to the other person. That means to have an equal distribution of labor and remuneration with others. And remuneration, labor and remuneration. That is, pay to others what you expect from others for the same work. This is what is called right angles or square. These 3 are given by way of initiation in the ritualistic halls by Pythagoras, who has established 33 rituals. This wisdom is borrowed into the concept of the Solomon's temple, and the 2 are brought together and made a beautiful blend. And a universal symbolism has been established. A process of initiation was established by way of ritualism, which is the activity of the 7th ray on this earth. This is about Solomon's temple. The rest of the thing is to be practiced by everyone in life. From the moment we begin to practice these virtues, we also begin to partake with all others who are practicing them. So we are also described as the builders of the temple. It is said that the temple is built in silence, which means we should not too much talk of these virtues. We should silently practice these virtues in life and not to make too much mention of these names of the virtues. And also the name of God should not be mentioned too much at every situation, because we may be inclined to deceive others by mentioning the name of God, which is the greatest blasphemy. So these are the features of the builders of the temple of Solomon. It is narrated that we are still building the temple, which means that the humanity is always tending towards perfection. In the Old Testament, there is one more aspect described. Solomon invited an architect and a builder, and that builder was invited and he was having all the wisdom. His name was Hiram Abi, and he was the son of a widow in Tyre, in a place called Tyre. So he was called the widow's son. This aspect is also taken into the symbolism of the ritualists. But there is a deeper symbol in ritualists calling themselves the widow's sons. There is one tradition which describes the birth of individual consciousness is the death of God consciousness. That is, as long as we live in our awakened consciousness, we are having a loss of universal consciousness. So God is lost to us, and we lost a secret in life for which we are searching again and again. So this is another aspect of the symbolism. Since our Father the Lord has undergone a symbolic death from the moment we are born on this earth, the nature in us has become a widow, and we are called the widow's sons. This symbolism is also taken into the Solomon's Temple concept. Of course, this is only a rough and brief narration of the symbolism of the esoteric school. It requires much time to consider and put into practice the virtues prescribed before we can fully understand the significance of the Solomon Temple that exists in the minds of the many thousands of humanity. It is one of the greatest treasures of human wisdom, the tradition of which is to be preserved carefully, and the genuine secrets of which are to be also preserved carefully. It is not enough if we mechanically conduct the rituals without going with great veneration into the symbolism. This is in short about the Solomon's Temple. Thank you. That is a thing which cannot be decided at the present age. There is no physical evidence anywhere till now, but at the same time we can't deny the existence of the temple in some date or other. The only thing I can say is the evidence is only the evidence in the Old Testament, existing nowhere else, and that there is no reason why it did not exist. A temple might have existed and might have been built, and we find no salient reason to deny the truth of it. Beyond this, we can't say anything because we have no evidence. No, temple ritual is there with an older tradition, and that has no relationship with the concept of the Solomon's Temple. At the same time, the concept of the widow's sons comes from the Indian ritualistic tradition to other schools of rituals. The story is first found in the world records in the Mahabharata. It is the story of the 5 righteous brothers, after the birth of which the father died an untimely death. And these 5 were deceived by their half-brothers. They were deprived of their kingdom and sent to the forests. They took refuge under the shelter, they took refuge under Lord Krishna, and he pitied them as the sons of the widow, and he contributed to their success and regaining their kingdom once again. This was enacted as the oldest of the mysteries in India, in a particular ritualistic school that existed for a very long time in India, but it has no direct relation with the concept of the Solomon's Temple. There is no actual evidence to believe that fact, because the position of the earth is different from the position of the earth in those times. There is a continuous shifting of the poles on this earth.
Verlagerung der Pole.
And stars that are facing a particular construction in those days do not face the same construction now. So we can't definitely say anything about it. The pathways, according to my understanding, are not at all explained symbolically by any esoteric student till now. the shape of the pyramid is the only thing that is related to the symbologist and the esoterist. And the pathways constructed were, in my opinion, not according to the symbolism of the solar year or anything, but they were according to the convenience of the tomb purposes. Therefore, no symbologist could attribute any symbolism to those details till now. As far as my understanding goes, it cannot have a negative power unless it is inverted and we stand under the inverted pyramid. No, it is the shape that is most powerful. Even though you make the shape with ropes, or even though you make a tent in the form of a pyramid, it gives you the same effect as that of a building. That is understood by the symbologists in a particular way. It is the imperfection of humanity, symbolic of the imperfection of humanity, which is to be worked out to perfection by everyone individually. For example, we have a parallel idea expressed by one of the great poets in India. He describes the spring season and a red transparent flower that blossoms in spring season. Through the petals of that flower, sun's rays travel and give wonderful colors. In fact, it is the most beautiful of all the flowers that are given by spring in India. At the same time, it has no smell at all. So the poet, describing that flower, he says that the Creator leaves a gulf of imperfection in creation, which can be supplemented only in the human birth by the creative human mind. I think the concept is the same. And many symbologists also explained the absence of the top stone in the same way. Nature, no question of what. Wherever there is the manifestation of power, we have to accept and take it. What gives the earth the power to rotate on its own axis? Same thing. Nature is pleased to manifest its power through so many phenomena. And then there is no question of what and why. If people have no taste of preserving things, there is no question of why. The script, the meaning of the script, the language itself is not yet understood by anyone fully till now. It requires to wait and research further. When there is a gap of understanding in the language itself, it is not good for us to make any imaginations about it. I say that one, I say now I understand your point. That is explained by one world seer called Kiro in a peculiar way. And each of the polished stone has a date